Hello once again. I am Doc Rotten and this is Gruesome Magazine. Tonight we are reviewing Coyotes from director Colin Minihan.
Gruesome Magazine.
Joining me tonight is my guest host Paul Cardullo. Paul, how are you doing? And welcome back to Gruesome Magazine.
Thanks for me talk pretty. Thanks for having me back, Doc. Clearly, I'm actually doing better than I sound. I am, and thanks for having me back. How you doing, Doc?
Oh, I'm doing well, All right. Before we dive into our review, we would encourage you to hit the like, subscribe, and share with a friend, because every little click that you do that helps us find more horror fans just like you out there. All right. Coyotes will officially open theatrically on Friday, October 3rd, 2025, in theaters across the country. The cast is led by Justin Long and Kate Bosworth. They are also a producing team. And they are joined by Katherine McNamara, who is from Shadowhunters, Brittany Allen from What Keeps You Alive, Mila Harris was Mary, and Leo Butz from a complete unknown. I like his last name, Butz. I'm sure maybe it's Buttes, but I'm going to say Butz because we always want to say Butz. All right. Silliness aside, well, this movie is silly, so it's appropriate for this movie. But here's a synopsis before we get into what we first thought of this film. After a Santa Ana windstorm knocks out power in the Hollywood Hills and crushes a family's SUV, the Stewarts, Scott, Liv, and their precocious daughter, Chloe, are standing in the hillside home with stranded in their hillside home.
They did stand, though.
Yeah, with no cell service, no escape route, and just enough spam to start a riot. But what's the real problem? Coyotes. Not scrappy, skittish kind that dig through your garbage and steal your cat, but smart, organized, murder-flavored coyotes, led by a scar-faced alpha with a serious beef. The coyotes pack starts picking off neighbors like it's happy hour and all-you-can-eat casino buffet, as wildstorms rage on one side and bloodthirsty canine death circles on the other. The Stewarts, armed with nothing but a flashlight, an old iPad, and some questionable decision-making.
That's true.
There is some questionable decision making, but anyway, this film is heading your way. But we got to watch it early, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But we need to find out, what did we really think of this film. I'm going to let Paul start off because he's got some really interesting insight in this movie. Paul, what did you think of this movie?
It's kind of hard to say because it just didn't work for me, I think is the best way to put it. I might have just been cranky that night when we watched it, which is a complete possibility, and it didn't quite work for me. There were some bits I liked, but overall I was kind of, when you start finding yourself picking at little things, then you know that it's not working, and that's sort of the long and short. Yeah, I know. I wanted to like it, and it's one of those ones I kind of feel bad that I don't like it as much as I think it kind of deserves.
So you're picking at some little things.
Little, like you said, I'm like, well, they made a dumb decision. It's like, it's a horror comedy, Paul. They're supposed to make dumb decisions. That's part of the fun. Yes. But yeah, so I was cranky. We'll just leave it to that. Cranky old man. Get off my lawn.
Yep, dumb decisions were made. So I enjoyed the movie a lot more than you did. I didn't mind the dumb decisions, and I was having a good time. It's okay. It's not a perfect film, but it's a reasonably entertaining film. It's not going to make my top 10 for the year, but it's nowhere near the bottom 10. It is it's on the north side of everything. So I enjoyed it, and I really am curious on where this production team of Justin Long and Kate Bosworth go next. I mean, we know their next film is going to be the reboot of Grave Encounters, which is one of my favorite found footage films.
By the same director, correct? I mean, that's,
by the same director, and it's the same director who did this movie. So
right, yeah.
So I'm excited. to see where this goes. And this is Justin Long is the lead, and he does well. I mean, he's still the Justin Long kind of
It's
humor.
a Justin Long character, that's for certain.
Yeah, but it suits this film and the comedy that on the edgy comedy that it needs. And Kate Bosworth is a good counterpoint to him, and steps up toward the end of the film marvelously. And the rest of the cast have their moments. I especially liked the character played by Norbert Leo Butz and his friend played by Brittany Allen. There was a lot of fun with those characters, and especially when they interacted with the daughter. It was all kind of awkward.
It was a little awkward, and that was there was. I mean, like I said, I really liked parts of this, and I think, like you said, Brittany Allen was really fun in her character, especially. I think, and Justin Long. I mean, like you said, it's a Justin Long character, but that was fun. He was a bit of a screw up. Let's put it that way.
Right.
He was like doing one thing. I said, "Oh, I bet you it's going to turn out like you think this thing he's doing is going to turn out like this, but it's going to turn out like this. Like it's going to turn out a piece of garbage." And it was a wonderfully fun piece of garbage because it was like, so yeah. Like I said, I think it deserved better than the feelings I had for it at the time.
You might need to watch it again and better me.
I think so. I was cranky, but
Well, I could relate to his character. He was a illustrator, comic book artist kind of person, so I have a heart there going for that character. Yeah. And he's definitely the nerd husband, and has to step up in a way that he's literally not prepared for. So
yeah.
But it works. It works for me anyway. And it is goofy and silly, and sometimes. I mean, the Coyotes are quite often very good, but also occasionally rough around the edges. And that was one of the things that bugged you when we watched it and we spoke afterwards. Is CGI for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, the bodies were good. And I know they did some puppetry too, but it was the faces, and the faces were usually fine till they became menacing. It was kind of interesting. Like the face was fine, and then when they tried to be menacing, it was like. Then it slips into that uncanny valley for me. And again, I think if I was enjoying it more, I would have just glossed past that. I think, yeah. Well, because again, I think that's one of those things. If something's not quite working for you, then you're going to pick at like all the little pieces. And I think, it's a horror comedy, so it really should get more of a buy on those kind of things, right? So. It's fun that way. I mean, and the relationship, actually going back to the relationship. I mean, of course, Justin Long and Kate Bosworth are a real couple in real life. Even though I kept thinking Kate Beckinsale. Don't ask me why. But anyway, they're a real couple in real life. And so here, I mean, like early on, there's some tension there, which and like you're like, oh, there seems to be some tension, which plays into the story. But then you can still see that the couple still cares about each other, even in spite of that. And that actually plays really well with it, I think.
Yeah, the family dynamic is crucial for this film. And countered by the odd person that lives next door and his female guest.
Yes,
we're not going to spoil anything in that regard, but they're pretty funny. And she, for me, Brittany Allen really stepped up as well because she really brought a lot to it. And again, whenever she talked about her profession, I won't say what it is, but you probably guess it. Especially around the daughter was really interesting, and especially the way the parents reacted, like no.
She seemed to be having fun with the character too.
Yes.
I think that's, you can tell when people are having fun, and I think she had a good time with this role. I mean, it really seemed like she was really having fun playing.
Yeah, and she took it. She kind of went over the top, but she didn't go so extreme over the top. You know what I mean? It was on that fence.
Yeah.
It was a really good ride. The neighbor, Mr. Butz.
Yeah.
He went over the top.
And there's also
just a tad too far.
Well, and that and there's the exterminator character. I think, like you said,
Yes.
those both. I think you had brought that about that they both were maybe just a slightly too broad. Like they
Right.
could have reined it in just a little bit, not so much. They're not, it wasn't too terrible. It was more like, oh, could have pulled that back just a little bit.
And he's not in the movie that much.
No, that's true.
And he's played by Keira O'Donnell, who we didn't
Yeah,
mention. And but there's a couple moments where it's like,
yeah, yeah.
maybe reel that one back in just a tad. But at the end, it was fine for me. And then we also had his friend Tony, played by Kevin Glenn, and he's walking back home. Well, we won't say anymore, but
Yeah,
he was a blast. And then his wife was played by Katherine McNamara, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And she has a fun little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was there's some nice like little set pieces kind of thing that work well with that.
Yeah. And as we wrap up, I'll say one thing. If you are, and this is where the film might have its most trouble, but if you are sensitive to, like, does the dog die kind of stuff, right? If, that's just like,
Yeah.
we talk about that occasionally on this as our reviews here. But yeah, there's going to be some animal elements that you might not enjoy if you are heavy into those affecting you. So be warned.
Yeah, I mean, it is called Coyotes, so
Yep.
you kind of got to expect that going in. It's like going. I was watching a Friday the 13th movie and didn't expect that there would be teenagers in peril.
Yes. All right. So let's get into our scores. 1 to 5, 5 being the best. What is your score for Coyotes?
Again, this is hard for me because I think it's a better film than I experienced. But then again, part of it goes, well, if you have to be in the right mood for a movie, what does that say? So, I mean, I'm gonna have to say like 2.75 because I think it probably deserves a little better, but I didn't really enjoy it as much. So I'm gonna say 2.75.
Okay.
I think your mileage may vary, and I think more people will probably go higher than that than lower. But for me, that's just kind of where it fell because I was cranky that day.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah,
For me, it's a very healthy 3.5.
I can say, yeah, definitely.
Kind of wanting to get into that 3.75, but some of the overtop performances, while enjoyable, kind of undermine what the other parts of what the film was going for. But other than that, I mean, it's a good time. I would recommend watching it, but
Yeah, it's a fun diversion. It's not going to be, a classic, I think, but like you said, it's a fun little film, I think.
Yeah. But I do think it shows a lot of potential for this production team, and I always find Justin Long a lot of fun in his movies, even though he's not terribly diverse in how he handles characters. But it's kind of. But when he's cast, it's in a film like this role and like in Barbarians, it fits. That's the character that is needed, and he's perfect for those roles. So it's well done, well done. So, and Kate Bosworth was really good too, and she has a really fun moment or two in the film. She steps up. Let's put it that way. All right, so there you go. That is our review for Coyotes. Again, it's coming out October 3rd. So check it out. And as we get into the Halloween season for 2025, you're going to be looking for things, and I think this one fits really well.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Well, Paul, once again, thank you for joining me. Really enjoying these reviews. It's a lot of fun having you here. Thank you.
It's a blast being here, Doc. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Let's say goodnight.
Good night, folks.